What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and executive orders by the president we're hearing are going to be arriving here very soon to help deal with these record high prices and inflation. And we're hearing it's very much so going to be needed because what is on the horizon, they're predicting it's not going to be good. This is your breaking news stimulus check update and stimulus package update. Now take a look at the headlines coming out. Former Federal Reserve Chair Ben Bernanke gives an economic warning. The former Federal Reserve Chair warns that the U.S. could be heading for a period of stagflation. And we are at a 41-year high of inflation, record high gas and food prices. And there's an assortment of different proposals coming out. I shared with you yesterday. One of the ones that has hit is more stimulus checks. A $1,000 fourth federal level check. Take a look at the headlines. Stimulus check update. Representative urges for $1,000 for every American over Ukrainian aid. In other words, that $40 billion that was supposed to go out to help out Ukraine, it has gotten blocked in the Senate by Senator Ron Paul. And they're saying, well, why don't we take that money and instead of giving it to Ukraine, let's use it here for the American people and send out $1,000 stimulus checks. Now, let me know your thoughts. This is just one of the many proposals coming out for checks and other forms of legislation to help out domestically. We've also had gas stimulus checks, child tax credits. We've heard of baby formula stimulus checks and things to help out domestically with our economy. Now, I'll keep you up to date on that, but these are hitting right now and it's starting to pick up pace and be more rapid as we get closer to those midterm elections. And this week, take a look at what's going to be happening, you guys. A bill that would set gas price limits to prevent exploitative cost hikes is going to be heading to the House for a vote, and that is this week. Now, we're hearing that all of this is very much so going to be needed because what they're predicting is around the corner. It's not looking good. Take a look at this headline, you guys. The Russia-driven food shortage means that cereal and corn will start running out in 2023. The UN warns. What we're hearing is bread, pasta, cereal, all of these products likely not going to be on store shelves, and if they are, you're going to be paying a pretty high price to get a hold of these items. Now, I'm going to be sharing with you in this article what the Biden administration is going to be saying about a three-pronged approach to addressing all of these issues and winning the November midterm elections. And yes, executive orders and actions is a part of that three-pronged process to get things done. As we're hearing, legislation, it's not working to get things done. They can't get the 60 votes in the Senate to pass things through the traditional means. They also can't use the process of reconciliation because the Democratic Party, even though they are in full control, can't unify amongst themselves. And we're hearing the only way is going to be executive orders and executive actions. Take a look, you guys. We're going to be diving into this article in more detail. Biden's team sees few options on inflation before November midterms. So it's going to be executive orders and executive actions. So you guys, I'm going to dive into the details, let you know what's going to be coming, what they're saying, get you everything that's happening right now. But before we do, also wanted to mention, check out my second channel, Steve Ram Finance, to learn about growing wealth and personal finance, as there is a lot of economic turmoil. And right now, we need every bit of help we can to try to figure out how to make money, keep money, and help us through this time. So I hope that this channel is a blessing to you. I share with you some things that I've learned over the past couple of years from multimillionaires that has helped change my financial situation for myself and my family. If you're interested, I'm going to pin a comment down below. Click the link, go subscribe, turn on notifications. I pray that is a blessing for you, learning about business, real estate, stocks, crypto, all of that good stuff. And let's dive into the latest on this channel. And if you appreciate the updates here on this channel, don't forget to take a quick second to smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Helps me out a ton. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Also, leave your comments, share this out. If this is your first time here and you like to stay up to date, totally free, why not? Come join the Ram fam. I'll keep you up to speed on everything going on so you're in the know. And all you got to do is hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, and if you got any specific questions for me, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. But with that being said, you guys, let's go ahead and dive right in. So a link in the description below to this Reuters article that just came out yesterday that reads, the Biden administration is increasingly feeling that it has little control over inflation, officials are saying, and is looking for a way to offset the political risk from price hikes in the months leading up to the November elections. Now, data last week showed that inflation is still at a 40-year high, but it is slightly off from earlier peaks. Now, the economy and Biden's handling of it, those are the top two issues for voters right now. And lowering the cost of meat, gas, and other household staples is going to be the key way that Biden and his fellow Democrats can defend their control in Congress in November's midterm elections, strategists say. Now, these are going to be the top two things, the economy and the way Biden is handling it. And if they can address those issues, they might have a chance to stay in control. Take a look. But any U.S. president's ability to cut prices in the short term in global markets for products from oil and grain is limited, White House advisors are saying. Influence over supply chain bottlenecks related to China's pandemic shutdowns and Russia's invasion of Ukraine, which are both driving up prices, are even further out of reach, out of their control, they say. The administration expects inflation to ease further from its recent breakneck pace as the year progresses, advisors say, but not to levels that would be deemed acceptable. So the good news is they're thinking that inflation is going to be slowing down, but the bad news for Biden and Democrats is not to a rate, as they said, that people will find acceptable. We're still going to be dealing with inflation. Now, in response, the White House, which until recently depicted inflation surges as transitory, has developed a three-pronged strategy. So these are the three things they're going to be doing to help address all of these issues. Number one, they're going to act as aggressively as can on prices it thinks it can impact on margins. So number one is addressing these issues, aggressively attacking them. And we're hearing executive orders and executive actions. Stay with me. They're going to be talking about this in just a second. Number two, stress the role of Russian President Vladimir Putin and the pandemic, making sure the focus of the cause is on those and not on stimulus packages and Biden's agenda. And number three, attack Republicans, suggesting that their economic policies would be worse than the ones that are currently in place. Let me know your thoughts, but they're saying this is the strategy, these three things that they're going to be doing. Now, we will see if they can pull this off, if they can convince voters of this, and if they can address the issues by passing executive orders and actions to help out people if they're going to be able to stay in power. Now, it says the untested shift in messaging comes after some Democrats told White House that it was too slow to take political problems of inflation seriously. Democrats say it's too early right now to tell if their new messaging, their three-prong approach, will sway voters to keep them in favor. Let me know if they do this, if they address these issues, do executive orders and actions, will that convince you to vote in their favor in these upcoming elections? There was some overpromising and under-delivering, we have heard. Now the messaging is more realistic. Now, political strategists say that it is important for President Joe Biden to communicate empathy and action even in the absence of good options, as an otherwise divided Republican Party unites around attacking the president over what they call Bidenflation. They need to communicate that families are struggling, but here's what we're going to be doing about it. And this is what we've been hearing from viewers on my channel. They're saying, listen, we just want to see you take action. I want to see the money in my account. I want to see the policies passed. And we'll be seeing, because there's been a lot of talk, a lot of proposals, but when it comes to actually getting things through Congress, well, we haven't seen a whole lot of stuff come to fruition. Just relentlessly being out there doing something every week, every day on these issues. Now, Republicans blame Biden's $1.9 trillion American Rescue Plan and other policies for driving up inflation, although prices started to jump before he took office, and the phenomenon has been a global phenomenon. Now, let me know your thoughts. Do you think that the stimulus packages have been a major contributing factor to inflation here in the United States? We are hearing, though, that this is a global phenomenon and that prices are increasing around the world. Now, executive orders and messaging. For its part, Biden's White House has criticized companies for taking home record profits and making stock buybacks while charging high prices. It has also tried to increase competition in the industries like meatpacking, partnered with retailers to unsnarl supply chains at ports and railways, and released oil from strategic reserves to try to push down those prices. The White House's strategy ahead of the November 8th elections is to identify and use as many executive actions as possible to provide relief to the American struggling people with high costs. So you guys, there you have it. As many executive orders and actions as they can to deal with these issues. We're hearing they are going to be on the way. So an abundance of executive actions are right around the corner. And as they roll out, I will be sure to keep you up to date. Now, is there going to be executive orders and actions for stimulus checks? What about child tax credits? What about an assortment of different things that we have heard proposed, like $200 for those on SSI, SSDI? that have not come to fruition. Now, we will see, but we've heard in the coming weeks, one of the first ones is going to be student loan debt forgiveness. And we just read that their plan in this three-pronged process to attack this and stay in power is to start dishing out tons of executive orders and actions. And like I said, as these roll out, I'll be sure to let you know here on the channel. So you guys, that is the latest. We're going to be seeing what unfolds. And as always, thank you so much for joining me here on the channel. And if you made it this far and you haven't already, don't forget, take a quick second to smash that like button for me. Helps out a ton. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Leave your comments, share this out if you think it could help out other people. If this is your first time here and you want to stay up to date, don't forget, it's easy to do so, totally free. Why not just smash the subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. I'll let you know everything unfolding. If you got any specific questions for me, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. Best way to get a hold of me by far. And consider joining that second channel, Steve Ram Finance, to learn about growing wealth and personal finance, trying to help out people at this time with learning about money. But with that being said, you guys, once again, thank you so much for joining me, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.